What is up, Rivals? Welcome back to yet another episode of HEAVENSTRIKE RIVALS. My name is Sawcasm, and today we are going to play through and sort of give you guys some tips for the Wolf in a Lamb's Clothing event. So every week or so, there are special events in HEAVENSTRIKE RIVALS that allow you to get certain units that normally you wouldn't be able to get. And they're limited time, so it's pretty cool because you get some units that maybe other people don't have access to. So it's pretty cool. And this one in particular is, I mean, the unit isn't the best in my opinion. It does have quite a niche ability, but in certain decks, she could certainly do some damage. So what I want to actually talk about is not so specific to this event, but a couple of tips for this event in particular. I would just suggest you run quite a lot of units because the matches for these do tend to run quite long. So if you have some heavy sustained units, you know, some couple of priests in there, I think I'm running 3 or 4 priests, which is kind of high for standard. You know, this is a pretty aggressive deck usually, but I am running a couple extra priests because the games are lasting so long and you want to be able to survive that. So on top of that, I am running a couple of, just a couple of more bulky units than I normally would. But on top of that, you want to run a lot of units. So you could run, 15 units maximum, not including your Vanguard. But with your Vanguard, you could run 16 units total. So you want to keep that in mind and try to run as many as you can. Fill up the slots if you have enough good units. You don't want to just fill up those slots with just crappy units, because then you could potentially draw. Say if you just fill up your squad with 1 stars and you have a couple of really good units, then most of the time you're gonna be drawing those crappy units that you put because you put so many of them compared to the good units. So you want to be able to maximize your chances of pulling the good units, the useful units. Not always good. Good is subjective. The useful units, and yeah, that is a part, just a small part of something that I want to talk about in today's video, and that is efficiency. How to be efficient with not only your deck, deck building, your cards, and all that, but just how to be efficient in terms of the game playing and how to, basically efficiency is the name of the game. No, the name of the game is actually HEAVENSTRIKE RIVALS, but being efficient can lead to you winning more battles, winning more attacks, whether it be PvP event or whatever. So the basics of efficiency. So this game is based on a system. I mean, there are a couple of different mechanics and system in this game, but health and attack. So if you see on top of the units, there is a green number, which is their health, and the red number, which is the attack for both sides of the unit. So whether it's mine or the enemy's, same thing. Red is attack, green is health. And they all do have special abilities, of course, which change these values, somewhat dramatically, but not always the case. So you could say that they do have some other factors, but to simplify this to its simplest form, we're just going to talk about the attack, the health, as well as their mana cost for the unit itself. So on top of the unit at the bottom, it shows mana cost, and that's how much mana it costs. Who would have ever guessed that? Okay, so to cut it short, not to cut it short, but to really cut to the chase, being efficient with the unit is really especially important when, here's what being efficient with the unit means. First of all, if I place a unit with 4 attack and 2 health, and he takes out 2 units with 4 attack and 4 health, that's a lot of efficiency because he took out 2 units before my 1 unit got taken out. Now, even if he gets taken out right after that, that's still a 2-for-1 trade, and really even more if you think about it, because we're taking out more stats, more health than the other unit would, or than it normally would. So if we're getting more value out of a card than we are losing, then essentially we're slowly gaining an edge and an advantage over time. Now, this isn't always the case, because you could place a card that's worth 10 mana, and you can get, you could kill 2 cards with it, maybe. I mean, it seems likely because it is a 10 mana card. It better be ridiculous if it's a 10 mana card. But just because you kill 2 units with it doesn't necessarily make it efficient because it was 10 mana. So you have to think about what are the other options you have here. What else could you have played with that 10 mana to be quote-unquote efficient? I keep throwing out this buzzword efficient, but really what I just mean is to gain an advantage. So being efficient is, choosing the absolute right decision, doing the best thing for that time, of course, but really I'm just talking about, being efficient with each individual unit and getting a positive trades, because if you do that, if you are efficient with each unit, then eventually it will lead to a win, most likely, because if every unit you place down takes out 2 units, then you're basically gonna absolutely wreck the game. But it doesn't always work out like that, of course, because the opponent is trying to do the same thing to you that you are trying to do to them. So that is the trade-off, of course, and just something you want to think about. But I see a lot of people use, for example, new players, if they have a unit with 4 health and 2 attack, and there are 2 enemies on the board, both with, I don't know, let's say one has 1 health and one has 2 health, just for argument's sake. Usually you want to take out the one with 2 health, assuming they both have the same attack values. Now, these are all pretty abstract ideas. Well, not abstract, but these are all pretty weird ideas. I know my thoughts are all over the place today, and I apologize for that, but I will try to make some more organized and structured videos, but I just really wanted to get out my thoughts about this topic, because this is pretty much the basics of any game with units with, you know, very specific values in terms of health and attack or something like that. For example, Hearthstone, because you can really quantify how much that card did for you, and then the same thing in this game. And I'm not comparing this game to Hearthstone by any means, saying this game is better than Hearthstone, saying Hearthstone is better than this game. I'm not saying any of that. There are 2 completely different games, of course, but just the aspect of efficiency is very, very similar. So yeah, pretty much I got everything I wanted to say, and I did that all in like one breath, so that was pretty impressive even to me. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. Just want to share that with you guys and to get, you know, that stuff off my mind. And I think for now I'm going to be speeding up some of the videos, because the gameplay can be kind of rather long in these games, or for HEAVENSTRIKE Rivals. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like rating. Truly appreciate it. Subscribe for some more content, and thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Peace.